Hi, hello there, my name is Kayla Bell, and if you follow me on any social media, which you should, the links are in the description below, you will know that today is a day that I've been screaming about for months. Zayn Malik's album, Mind of Mine, is out today, and I'm so excited about it. I know everybody's been doing like reactions to all of his songs, but I didn't want to just come out here and scream because I do that so often. I wanted to sit down, gather my thoughts, and actually try and do a proper review of this album. So that's what I'm going to do today. So first of all, if I had to describe this album in one word, I would use the word smooth. I've listened to it a couple of times now, front to back, and it just flows so well together, and that's a big thing for me. I really like albums that make sense as a whole, and this album is very cohesive. It flows so nicely from one track to another, and there are times where I got caught up and I was sort of like, is it the same song? Is this a new song? They flow without sounding like the same, like one long song. So the first track is Mind of Mine, the intro. It's very simple, pretty beat, it's very sweet and dreamy. Basically telling you that you're about to enter his mind, so strap in because it is a ride. Sort of the first opening to this overarching theme throughout the album of Zayn telling his story, sharing his voice with the world. Track number 2 is Pillow Talk, which is the first single that we got from solo Zayn. Still great. In my opinion, it was a great intro to Zayn as a solo artist, sort of killed that poppy boy band vibe, but still giving us a song that's really fun, and it's got this sexy beat. It showcases his range, which is crazy. He's hitting notes like it's nothing, and it's just a really great song. I didn't skip it. I thought that I'd been listening to it for so long that I would just skip it and move on to the next, but I wanted to listen to the entire album, start to finish, as Zayn intended, and I loved it. It's still so good. Track number 3 is It's You, which we got the live version of it before we got the album version, and when we got the album version, I didn't really care about it. I was like, this is a nice song, whatever, it's cute. But it didn't really do anything for me. But now listening to it as a part of the album, it was like listening to it for the first time all over again, and it was so beautiful. It was mind-blowing, mesmerizing. Like the way Zayn he lives in his falsetto in this song, and he does it so effortlessly. He did it live, and then hearing the studio version after that, it was the same song. He hit all of those notes in person. Like it was nothing, and it was so incredible. He just kills it from start to finish. Track number 4 is B4. We got the instrumental for this in Zayn's first solo interview with Fader, and everybody's been waiting for this because we thought this was gonna be like his tell-all confessional song. He was just gonna go in. Thought that it would reference the other 4 members of One Direction, and so we thought it was gonna be like there's a song to them, sort of all of his feelings, and it wasn't really. It wasn't that deep. Talked more about One Direction, the band, as a commodity, as something that can be sold and marketed, so it talks more to the team than it does to them. I think the only thing that really sort of referenced the voice directly was the chorus, which says, so say what you want to say, shame is you won't say that to my face, which might have something to do with the fallout that he had before he left the band. Mostly just about doing this on his own and how he wasn't happy in the band and how he wanted to move on and do something different, which we all knew. Like, if you paid attention to Zayn, like he's been saying that from day one. I like the song. It's got a good beat you can bop to. The flashing light high note kills me. It's so good. Next up is She, which the build up in the beat to the chorus is just, it gets you in your chest and it makes you want to move. Lyrics are very simple but powerful. I like the little remixing of the chorus towards the end, and then it leads into the high note, which another high note. We used to like pray for one high note on a One Direction album, and now he's just like, you get a high note, you get a high note, everybody gets a high note, and I'm so happy about it. I need Zayn to show off. Love the instrumental at the end, which leads out and transitions so beautifully into Drunk. Drunk is just purely a vibe song, just a chill song, something you can kick back and hang out to, and I absolutely love that. Drunk then leads into Intermission Flower, which, oh my god, means so much to me, just because he's a brown boy. It's very important to me that people know that Zayn is a brown boy. He's a brown Muslim boy, and he's killing it. There's nothing you can do about it. It's probably the most powerful minute and a half of the entire album. The song's in Urdu, and what he's saying in English is, until the flower of this love has blossomed, this heart won't be at peace. I think there's just so much symbolism between those words, having this song as an intermission in the middle of the album and where Zayn's at in his life. There's a deep connection between there, and I didn't want to get too deep. I probably will in a blog post later. I could talk about that song for days, but I won't. It's just a nice reprieve. Chill out for a second and gather yourself. for the rest of the album. Next up is Rear View, which is where I saw the most of Zayn's Frank Ocean influence. It's very much a story of longing. I like the 808s in the background, like it's got a nice beat to it, it's very chill. It doesn't really do much for me like the other songs, but it's still a good song. Track number 9 is Wrong, which features the only collab of the album, the crazy, cool, and talented Kehlani. And I think that mix is so well because the sexual vibe in their music is very well matched together. I also like the clashing drums of the beat, which matches the clashing of their voices in this song. It really feels like a power struggle, kind of. And there was one line that really struck me, and it's during Kehlani's verse, and it says, "Baby, some people are meant to be loved and others just naked." And I feel like that is a point that Zayn makes over and over in this album. And I just want to hold on to that because, like, we might have to have a talk today. Like, call me, let's have a chat. Like, we got some things to discuss. Track 10 is Fool For You, which is a beautiful, beautiful song. The production feels very old, kind of like Motown to me. That might just be the piano with Zayn's vocals and the fact that it's this very pleading love song. Very emotional. Track 11 is Borders, and to be honest, by the time I got to Borders, I was a little sick of the beat because it just felt so repetitive. It felt like I'd heard it in at least 3 to 4 other songs. How many, like, chill vibe songs can you have? So since I wasn't feeling the beat, I really focused on the lyrics, and luckily the lyrics got me. Focus on the lyrics and the vulnerability within them. I like how, for Zayn in this song at least, sex doesn't always equal just sex. Like, it's not so much about the physical act, but there's a lot of connection to the emotional and spiritual side of it, or at least that's what I got. Track 12 is Truth, which is a bomb. We thought Before was going to be the song towards the boys, and Truth is actually that song. It's got a very muted beat, so you can really focus on the lyrics and his vocal tone, and it's just very resigned in his lyricism and in the vocals. It just kind of centers around, like, I can't have this conversation with you again. Like, we know what it is, and I have to be true to me, and I know what needs to be done, and I have to move on, and sort of things like that. Next is Lucozade, which I would feel is closer to Zayn's influence from The Weeknd, in that it's got this element of a haze of intoxication to numb the pain, and how it's very sex and very intense lyrics, but it's still very far from anything that Mr. Tesfaye has done. There's no hook in the song, so it just kind of feels like Zayn's talking, like he's gotten high, talking shit. And paired with the pulsing beat, it kind of feels like he's just trying to get a lot of things off his chest. He's just going down a list. He doesn't really have any goals or objectives with this song. He's just talking. Next is T.O., which we don't deserve. Again, with the openness and the vulnerability in sex and the emotional connection of it, but it's still just so damn sexy in a very simple way, and I absolutely love that. The song actually feels a little bit more sensual than sexual. This is a great place to end the album. If I had to rate this album, I think I'd give it like 4 out of 5 heart eye emojis. It's just a really great album. It flows so well together. There are a couple of things like I had issues with, some songs that don't really get me, but overall it's such a solid debut album. So that is my review of Zayn's album Mind of Mine. It is in stores everywhere. You can buy it on iTunes, Amazon, I think Google Play. Give him a chance because he's so talented. Leave a comment below telling me your thoughts on the album if you've listened to it, if you plan to listen to it. Like this video if you liked it, and please make sure to subscribe to me because I make new videos every Thursday, even though this is a Friday. This was a one-time thing. I will see you guys next week with a new video. Peace. Stay tragic. How can I make this room as dark as my soul but still have good lighting for this video? So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go to good old handy YouTube, and we're going to play some songs from emo bands and just talk about stuff. Lego.